If you want to achieve something big, you've got to put in the work. No excuses, no shortcuts. It's easy to dream about success, but making it happen takes relentless effort, time, and commitment. Success doesn't show up because you want it. It comes because you earn it, day in and day out. This isn't about working harder than everyone else. It's about working with purpose and focus. In this audiobook, I'm going to show you why working like hell isn't just about putting in the hours. It's about pushing past the limits of what you thought was possible. It's about facing challenges head-on and refusing to back down, even when it feels impossible. So, if you're ready to stop waiting for opportunities to come to you and start making them happen for yourself, stay tuned. Your future self will thank you for the effort you put in today. Chapter 1. Push yourself harder every day until results show. Success does not come to those who wait. It does not belong to the ones who hesitate, procrastinate, or make excuses. It belongs to those who push themselves harder every single day, no matter how tired they are, no matter how difficult it gets. Most people want results, but very few are willing to go through what it takes. They want to be successful, but they don't want to put in the work. They want the reward, but they refuse to pay the price. That is why so many people live their entire lives wishing things were different. But wishing does nothing. The only thing that moves you forward is effort, relentless, disciplined, and consistent effort. If you truly want to succeed, if you truly want to change your life, you have to push yourself harder than you did yesterday. You have to work when you don't feel like it, when you're exhausted, when no one is watching. That is the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck. The ones who succeed don't rely on motivation. They don't wait to feel inspired. They push through when it's uncomfortable. They demand more from themselves, even when they think they've done enough. That's the kind of mindset you need to develop if you want results. Most people quit the moment things get tough. They start something, but as soon as they face difficulty, they stop. They say, "It's too hard," or "I don't think this is for me." And that is the reason they never see results. Because results don't show up overnight. They come after months and years of effort. They come after pushing through doubt, pain, and setbacks. They come after you've done the work over and over again, even when you felt like giving up. The people who succeed are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who kept going when others stopped. Every single day, you have a choice. You can either push yourself to grow, to improve, to get better, or you can stay the same. No one is going to force you. No one is going to come and do the work for you. It's up to you to make that decision. And here's the truth. If you don't push yourself, no one else will. No one cares about your dreams as much as you do. No one will fight for your future the way you can. If you don't take control of your life, if you don't decide to work like hell for what you want, you will wake up years from now full of regret. Pushing yourself harder every day is not about working mindlessly. It's about setting a standard for yourself that is higher than anyone else's. It's about refusing to settle for average. It's about saying, "I will do whatever it takes, for as long as it takes, until I get the results I want." And it's not just about working longer hours. It's about working with more intensity, more focus, and more determination. Every time you think you've done enough, ask yourself, can I do more? Can I improve? Can I find a way to push further? Because the truth is, most people stop at 40% of their true potential. They slow down when they feel tired, instead of pushing past that limit. And that's exactly why they never achieve their full potential. People talk about talent, about luck, about opportunities, But none of that matters if you're not willing to push yourself. You can be the most talented person in the world, but if you don't put in the work, you will lose to someone who does. You can wait for the perfect opportunity, but if you're not ready when it comes, you'll miss it. Hard work beats talent every single time when talent refuses to work hard. That is why the most successful people in the world are not always the smartest or the most gifted. They are the ones who outwork everyone else. So if you want results, if you want real change, commit to this every day. Push yourself harder than the day before. Don't settle for doing the bare minimum. Don't stop just because you're tired. Don't let yourself off the hook. Success is not about what you do when you feel like it. It's about what you do when you don't feel like it. That is what separates winners from everyone else. Winners work like hell, even when no one is watching. They keep going when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, and exhausting, because they know that is what it takes. Right now you have two choices. You can keep doing what you've always done and get the same results you've always gotten. Or you can decide right now that you will raise your standards, that you will no longer accept excuses from yourself, that you will push yourself harder every single day until results show, because the truth is, results don't come to those who wait. They don't come to those who wish. They come to those who work. What are you going to do? Chapter 2. Wake up early and start chasing your goals. If you want to change your life, start by changing how you wake up. Success is not about luck or waiting for the right moment. It's about starting every single day with purpose and determination. It's about waking up early and chasing your goals before the world has even opened its eyes. Because while others are still in bed, dreaming about success, you could be out there making it happen. The early hours are quiet, still, and powerful. That is when champions are made. Not in the noise of the afternoon, but in the silence of the morning when it's just you, your goals, and your will to succeed. Waking up early isn't just about setting an alarm. It's about setting a standard for how you live your life. It's about telling yourself that your dreams matter enough to get out of bed when it's hard. Because that's what it takes. It takes sacrifice. It takes discipline. It takes doing the uncomfortable things that most people avoid. Most people will hit the snooze button and tell themselves they'll try harder tomorrow. But those who win don't wait for tomorrow. They take action today. They understand that every morning is another chance to move closer to their goals, and they don't waste it. Think about it. Every morning you stay in bed longer than you should. You're making a decision to stay stuck. You're choosing comfort over growth. And the problem is, every time you choose comfort, it gets easier to make that choice again. Until one day you look back and realize you've wasted months, maybe even years waiting for motivation to kick in. But successful people don't wait for motivation. They create it by taking action, by waking up early, by starting their day with intention, and by building momentum while others are still asleep. Imagine what you could do with just 1 extra hour in the morning. 1 hour to read, to plan, to work, to think. 1 hour to invest in yourself before the demands of the day come crashing in. That 1 hour could be the difference between an average life and an extraordinary one, because it's in those early hours that you have control. No distractions, no interruptions, just you and the work that needs to be done. You can think clearly, you can focus deeply, you can build habits that shape your future. And yes, waking up early is hard, it's uncomfortable. Your bed will feel warm, and your excuses will feel reasonable. But that's exactly why it's powerful. Because every time you choose to rise early, you're building discipline. You're proving to yourself that your goals are stronger than your comfort. And over time, that discipline becomes who you are. It becomes a part of you. It shapes how you approach every challenge in your life. If you can conquer the battle of the morning, you can conquer anything. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by accident. They didn't get there by sleeping in and hoping for success to find them. They got there by being intentional, by owning their mornings, and by using every moment to move forward. They understand that success is not something you stumble into, it's something you earn, hour by hour, day by day. And it starts with how you begin each morning. If you want to be successful, you have to be willing to do what others won't. You have to be willing to set that alarm, to get up when it's still dark, and to work when it feels uncomfortable. And yes, it's going to be hard at first. But that's the price of success. That's the cost of chasing your goals. The good news, the more you do it, the stronger you get. The more you wake up early and take action, the easier it becomes. You build momentum, you build strength, and eventually you become unstoppable. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to start. Set your alarm 30 minutes earlier, then an hour. Build the habit. Take it one morning at a time, and don't waste that time. Don't get up early just to scroll through your phone or watch the news. Get up with a purpose. Use that time to move your life forward. Plan your day. Read something that grows your mind. Work on your skills. Do the things that most people avoid. That's how you separate yourself from the crowd. Because here's the truth. The world is full of people who talk about their dreams. They talk about what they want, about how they'll do it someday. But talk is cheap. Action is what matters. And if you're serious about your goals, you'll show it by how you start your day. If you're serious, you'll get up early. You'll face the discomfort. You'll embrace the challenge, and you'll use every morning to prove to yourself that you're not like everyone else. And when you start doing that, you'll notice a change, not just in your results, but in how you feel about yourself. You'll start to trust yourself more. You'll build confidence. You'll realize that you're capable of more than you thought. And that feeling will spill over into every part of your life. You'll be more productive, more focused, more driven. You'll become the kind of person who doesn't wait for life to happen, but goes out and makes life happen. That's the power of waking up early. That's the power of chasing your goals before the world wakes up. Because while others are still dreaming, you'll be doing. While others are wasting time, you'll be building your future. And that's how you win. That's how you create a life you're proud of. One morning at a time, one decision at a time, by showing up, by pushing through, and by refusing to let comfort control your life. So if you're serious about changing your life, it's time to change how you start your day. No more excuses, no more waiting. Set that alarm, get up early, and start chasing your goals like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Your future depends on what you do today. Your success depends on whether you're willing to do the work when it's hard. And it starts every single day, the moment your alarm goes off. Don't waste another morning. Don't waste another chance to move closer to your goals. Get up, get moving, and take control of your life. Because no one else will do it for you. Chapter 3. Cut distractions and focus fully on your work. If you want to win, you must learn to cut distractions and focus fully on your work. Success isn't about being busy, it's about being productive. It's about locking in, giving your full attention to what matters, and cutting away everything that doesn't serve your goals. Because let's face it, in a world filled with endless noise, notifications, social media, emails, entertainment, It's easy to feel like you're working hard when, in reality, you're just moving in circles. The truth is, most people aren't failing because they lack talent or opportunities. They're failing because they're distracted. They're giving their time and energy to things that don't matter, and every second spent on a distraction is a second stolen from your dreams. If you're serious about success, you have to take a hard look at how you spend your time. You have to ask yourself, what am I allowing to control my focus? Because every minute you spend scrolling on your phone, every hour lost watching meaningless videos, every moment wasted in unnecessary conversations, that's time you'll never get back. And if you think that a few minutes here and there don't matter, think again. Success isn't built in giant leaps. It's built in small, consistent steps. And every distraction you entertain is a step away from the life you want. You can't work like hell and be distracted at the same time. It doesn't work that way. Working hard isn't just about showing up. It's about showing up fully, mentally and emotionally. It's about being present, being locked in, and giving your best effort without splitting your attention. Because when you give something half your focus, you get half the results. And half results will never build the life you dream about. Full success demands full focus. It demands that you protect your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Your future, your goals, your dreams, they're all shaped by how well you manage your focus today. You have to understand that distractions aren't just harmless interruptions. They are silent thieves. They rob you of time, they rob you of progress, and they rob you of the mental sharpness you need to succeed. And the worst part, you rarely notice them until it's too late. You think you'll just check one message, one post, one email, but before you know it, an hour is gone. That's how distractions work. They're sneaky. They make you feel like you're in control when, in reality, they're controlling you. And the more you give in, the weaker your focus becomes, the weaker your discipline becomes, until suddenly working deeply and focusing fully feels impossible. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can take back control. You can train your mind to focus. You can build discipline by cutting distractions one by one, every single day. And it starts by being brutally honest with yourself. Identify your distractions. What's stealing your time? What's pulling your attention away from what matters? Be real about it. Don't sugarcoat it. If your phone is the problem, admit it. If your environment is noisy and chaotic, change it. If you're surrounded by people who waste your time, distance yourself. Success requires sacrifice, and sometimes that sacrifice means cutting off what feels comfortable so you can focus on what's necessary. It's not enough to just say, "I'll focus more." You have to build a system. You have to create an environment where focus is easier and distractions are harder to reach. That means turning off notifications. That means setting strict time limits on social media. That means cleaning your workspace, getting organized, and creating a space that encourages deep, focused work. It means setting boundaries with people who pull your attention away and making it clear that your time is valuable. Because if you don't respect your time, no one else will. And don't fall for the trap of multitasking. It's a lie. You're not being productive when you multitask. You're splitting your focus and weakening your results. The mind is powerful, but it's designed to focus on one thing at a time. When you jump from task to task, you're not working faster, you're working slower, with less quality. Focus on one thing. Give it everything you've got. Then move to the next. That's how real progress happens. That's how results are built. One focused task at a time, done with full effort and attention. You have to understand that every time you choose focus over distraction, you're building strength. You're training your brain to do hard things. And over time, focus becomes easier. Discipline becomes stronger. It becomes natural to dive deep into work and block out the noise. But it starts with small decisions. It starts with saying no to distractions, even when it feels uncomfortable. It starts with turning off the TV, putting your phone in another room, and choosing to do the work, even when every part of you wants to avoid it. That's how you win. That's how you build discipline, by making the hard choices every single day. And let me tell you, there's something powerful about working in silence, about cutting away the noise and locking into your goals. There's clarity there. There's strength. When it's just you and your work, you find out what you're really made of. You find out how far you can push, how much you can accomplish. And it feels good because you know you're doing the hard things most people avoid. You know you're building something real, something that will last. Distractions will always be there. The world isn't going to get quieter, life isn't going to slow down. But that doesn't mean you have to let it control you. You can choose to be stronger than the noise. You can choose to control your focus, your time, and your future. And when you do, you'll be amazed at how much progress you can make. You'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish when you give something your full, undivided attention. Because focus is a superpower. It's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. But it's a choice. Every day. It's a choice. Every day. It's a choice. To either let distractions pull you away, or to fight for your focus. To protect your mind, like your life depends on it, because it does. Your future depends on what you focus on today. Your dreams depend on the work you put in today. And if you let distractions win, you're handing your future over to comfort and chaos. But if you fight for focus, if you discipline yourself, if you choose to give your work everything you've got, you're building a future that's worth it. One day at a time, one decision at a time. So ask yourself, are you willing to fight for your focus? Are you willing to cut the distractions, to do the hard work, to show up fully every single day? Because that's what it takes. That's how success is built. It's not about being busy. It's about being focused. It's about doing the work that matters and cutting everything else. It's about making hard choices today, so you can have a better tomorrow. So make the choice, cut the noise, focus fully, and work like hell until your dreams are real. Chapter 4. Take action now and stop waiting for perfect moments. Success doesn't wait for the perfect moment, and it never will. The world doesn't pause while you prepare, while you hesitate, or while you wait for the stars to align. The truth is, the perfect moment is a myth. It's an excuse dressed up as patience, and if you keep waiting for it, you'll be waiting forever. You don't need ideal conditions to start. You don't need everything figured out. What you need is action. You need to move, to step forward, to take the first shot, even if it feels messy, uncertain, or uncomfortable. Because progress only begins when you do. And it's not about having the perfect plan. It's about having the courage to start before you're ready. Every moment you delay is a moment you surrender to fear. Fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, fear of making mistakes. But here's the truth. Fear isn't going anywhere. It's part of the process. It's the price of ambition. And if you wait for fear to disappear, you'll be standing still for the rest of your life. The only way to beat fear is to move through it, to take action even while you're scared, to choose progress over perfection, because no matter how long you wait, you'll never feel completely ready. No one does. Every successful person you admire didn't start because they were fully prepared. They started because they were determined. They knew that action beats hesitation, that progress beats perfection, and that courage is built by doing, not waiting. You don't need permission to start. You don't need approval. You don't need a perfect strategy. You need to look at where you are right now, with whatever resources, skills, or knowledge you have, and take the first step. The first step is never perfect. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, it's uncertain, but it's the most powerful move you can make because it breaks the cycle of waiting and wishing. It turns dreams into plans and plans into progress. And once you start moving, something incredible happens. You gain momentum. You build confidence. You learn faster. You get stronger. Action creates clarity. It gives you feedback. It teaches you what works and what doesn't. It molds you into someone who doesn't sit back waiting for life to happen, but someone who makes life happen. You have to stop thinking and start doing. Stop over-analyzing every detail, every risk, every scenario that could go wrong. Overthinking is the enemy of progress. It paralyzes you. It convinces you that the risk is greater than the reward, that failure is final, that mistakes define you, but none of that is true. The only thing that defines you is your ability to keep moving, to keep trying, to learn and grow from every setback. Mistakes are not the end. They're the beginning of growth. Failure is not defeat. It's feedback. And every step you take, even the wrong ones, are steps closer to your goal because they teach you how to move better, faster, and stronger next time. Think about the time you've already lost waiting for perfect conditions. How many days, weeks, or even years have you spent preparing, planning, and hesitating? How much progress could you have made if you just started? If you just took the first step, learned from it, adjusted, and kept going? Don't let the next year be another year of waiting. Don't let the next week be another week of hesitation. Don't let tomorrow be another excuse. Start now, even if it's small, even if it feels insignificant. The hardest part is always getting started, but once you do, you'll realize that action is addictive, that progress feels better than perfection, that momentum is stronger than fear. And yes, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. You're going to fall short of your own expectations sometimes. But that's normal. That's human. That's how success is built, not in flawless execution, but in relentless effort, in trying, failing, and trying again, in refusing to let mistakes define you, in choosing growth over comfort, because every mistake you make teaches you something valuable. Every failure strengthens your resilience. And every time you choose action over fear, you become stronger, braver, and more capable. You don't need to be perfect to be successful. You need to be relentless. You need to be courageous enough to move, even when the path is unclear. You need to be disciplined enough to keep going, even when it's uncomfortable. And you need to be patient enough to let your progress compound, to trust that every small step forward is building a future you can be proud of. Success isn't a one-time decision. It's 1,000 small decisions made daily. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work, even when it's hard. It's about choosing effort over excuses. And if you're still thinking, "I'm not ready," understand this: readiness is a choice, not a condition. You choose to be ready by acting. You choose to be ready by deciding that you're done waiting, that you're done making excuses, that you're done letting fear hold you back. The only thing standing between you and your goal is action, and the longer you wait, the longer it'll take. But the moment you decide to move, the moment you take the first step, you're already winning. You're already ahead of most people who will never start because they're too busy waiting for things to feel perfect. And here's the best part. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most talented. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to start, to try, to fail, to learn, and to keep going. That's what separates the successful from the stuck. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's courage. The courage to act when it's hard. The courage to start when it's uncomfortable. The courage to keep going when progress feels slow. And if you commit to action, if you commit to moving every day, no matter how small the step, you'll be shocked at how far you can go. One step leads to another. One small win creates momentum. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize how much progress you've made, simply because you refused to wait. Because you chose to act, even when it wasn't perfect, even when it was messy, even when it was scary. That's how you win. That's how you build something real. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the right mood, the right time, the right feeling. Stop waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to start, because no one is coming to push you. No one is coming to give you the green light. That has to come from you. Your future is waiting, but it won't wait forever. And the longer you hesitate, the longer you delay the life you deserve. So take action now, not tomorrow, not next week. Now take the first step. No matter how small, no matter how uncertain, no matter how uncomfortable, just start. And trust that every step will get you closer to where you want to be. Chapter 5. Work longer and smarter than everyone around you. Success is not for those who take it easy. It's not for those who clock out the moment the day ends, or for those who do the bare minimum and expect to win big. Success belongs to the ones who work longer and smarter than everyone around them. It belongs to those who understand that if they want to stand out, they must outwork, outlearn, and outlast the rest. If you want a life that most people will never have, you need to be willing to do what most people will never do. That's the truth. And it starts with the mindset that says, I will work when others rest. I will push when others stop. I will keep going when others quit. It's easy to believe that talent or luck will carry you, but that's a lie. Comfort tells you so you can stay in the same place. The real game changer is effort. The real separator is how hard you're willing to push when it's inconvenient, when it's exhausting, when it feels like you've already given everything. That's when the difference is made. That's when winners are born. Not during the easy hours, but during the hard ones. It's when you choose to stay longer, study more, refine your skills deeper, and show up again and again. You don't get ahead by working like everyone else. You get ahead by deciding that average is not an option. By deciding that you will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. You want results. Then you have to earn them. You have to wake up earlier, stay up later, and give more of yourself than you thought possible. Not once, not twice, but every single day. That's what separates those who succeed from those who settle. It's not a one-time decision. It's a lifestyle. It's waking up and asking, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? And then doing that again the next day, and the next and the next. Until success is no longer an option. It's inevitable. And let's be real. Working harder isn't always enough. You can work long hours and still go nowhere if you're not working smart. So yes, you have to be willing to put in the hours, but you also have to be strategic. Ask yourself, what is actually moving me closer to my goals? What is just keeping me busy without results? Because too many people confuse movement with progress. But running fast in the wrong direction is still going nowhere. That's why working smarter is just as crucial as working longer. It's about cutting out what doesn't matter and doubling down on what does. It's about finding better methods, learning from mistakes, and refusing to waste energy on things that won't take you to the finish line. And you know what? Working smarter means accepting that you don't know everything. It means being humble enough to ask for advice, to seek mentorship, to read more, study more, and learn from those who are already where you want to be. It means analyzing what works and what doesn't, being willing to try new approaches, and understanding that learning never stops. The world doesn't wait for anyone, and if you're not learning, you're falling behind. So commit to being a student every single day. Commit to asking, how can I improve? How can I make my effort count even more? That's what working smarter looks like. But let's not pretend it's easy. It's hard, it's draining, it's uncomfortable. You're going to have days when you want to quit, when you feel like you've done enough, when you tell yourself you deserve a break, and maybe you do. But the question is, do you deserve the result you're chasing more? Because success doesn't come to the one who rests first. It comes to the one who finishes first. To the one who pushes through exhaustion, who says, I'll rest when the job is done. I'll relax when I've earned it. That's the price of greatness. It's not comfort, it's sacrifice. It's giving up your weekends, your late nights, your distractions, not because you love pain, but because you love your dreams more. And don't believe for a second that the people who succeed are luckier or more talented. In most cases, they just refuse to quit. They stay longer. They keep going when others have already walked away. They understand that the moment when it feels hardest is the moment when progress is happening. When everyone else says, that's enough, they say, just one more step. And that one step, that's the one that breaks barriers. That's the one that separates good from great. That's the one that creates legends. You can't cheat the grind. You can't cut corners and expect the same result as someone who gave everything they had. Life doesn't work that way. If you want more, give more. If you want better, do better. If you want to be the best, then act like it. Outwork, outlast, outlearn, and never settle for average. Because if you do what everyone else is doing, you'll end up where everyone else is. And you didn't come this far to be ordinary. You didn't put in all this effort just to be average. You're chasing greatness, and greatness demands more. But here's something most people won't tell you. Working longer and smarter isn't just about chasing external success. It's about who you become in the process. It's about building discipline that can't be broken. About becoming someone who follows through, someone who keeps their word, someone who can look in the mirror and say, I gave it everything. That's what makes the journey worth it. That's what creates unshakable confidence. Not the trophies, not the applause, but knowing that you didn't quit. Knowing that you became stronger with every setback, wiser with every failure, better with every challenge. And remember, success is not instant. It's slow, it's relentless. It's step by step, day by day. It's showing up again and again, until the world has no choice but to respect your effort. Until the results become undeniable. Until your name becomes a standard of excellence. That's what working longer and smarter does. It forces success to show up. It forces doors to open. It forces progress to happen because you refuse to stop. So if you're tired, good. That means you're pushing. If you're uncomfortable, good. That means you're growing. If you feel like quitting, good. That means you're close to a breakthrough. Keep going. Don't slow down. Don't back off. Don't settle. Work longer. Work smarter. Outwork every excuse, every obstacle, every limitation. because the life you want is waiting for you on the other side of hard work. And the only way to get there is to keep going until it's yours. Chapter 6. Hold yourself accountable for every missed opportunity. If you're going to achieve anything meaningful in this life, you've got to take full responsibility for your actions. No one else is going to hold you accountable for your missed opportunities. It's up to you to look yourself in the mirror and admit when you've fallen short. And let me tell you, that is the hardest thing to do. It's so much easier to blame external factors, to point fingers at circumstances beyond your control, or to make excuses for why things didn't go as planned. But if you want to truly succeed, you need to stop playing the victim and start being the hero of your own story. It's time to take ownership, step up, and recognize that your results are a direct reflection of your choices and actions. The truth is, every opportunity you miss is a lost chance to improve, to grow, and to move one step closer to your dreams. Every time you decide to stay comfortable instead of pushing forward, every time you let fear or procrastination hold you back, you're creating a gap between where you are and where you want to be. This isn't something that just happens. It's the result of the decisions you make every single day, whether you're conscious of them or not. When you choose to ignore an opportunity, to delay your progress, or to avoid taking action, you are choosing to accept the consequences of that decision. And if you keep doing this, you'll find yourself stuck in the same place for years, wondering why nothing has changed. You have to realize that there's no one else to blame. No one's going to magically come into your life and save you from the consequences of your missed opportunities. The responsibility lies entirely with you. If you don't hold yourself accountable for your actions, no one else will. You have to look at your past, your decisions and your results with a clear, honest lens. What did you do right? What did you do wrong? And most importantly, what could you have done differently to seize the opportunities that came your way? These are the questions that matter. These are the questions that will allow you to grow and move forward, or they'll trap you in the same cycle of missed chances and regret. It's easy to say, "I'll try harder tomorrow," or "I'll take action next time." But let me tell you, tomorrow never comes. You keep waiting for the perfect moment, the right conditions and the stars to align, and all that happens is time slips away. Every moment you waste is a moment you can never get back. And every missed opportunity is a chance for you to fall behind. So instead of waiting for the ideal circumstances, start right now. Hold yourself accountable today. Don't wait until tomorrow to decide that you're going to do better. You have the power to take control of your life right now. When you hold yourself accountable for missed opportunities, you take ownership of your success. You stop making excuses, and you stop settling for mediocrity. You realize that no one is going to give you what you want. You have to go out there and take it. Every time you hold yourself accountable, you create momentum. You build trust in yourself. You start believing that you have what it takes to make things happen. And when you believe that, you'll start acting in ways that reflect that belief. Now, I know it's not easy. I know it's painful to face the truth about where you're falling short. It's easy to get caught up in the lies we tell ourselves, the justifications for why we didn't do what we said we would. But if you want to make any real progress, you have to be willing to look at yourself honestly. You can't lie to yourself about missed opportunities. You can't convince yourself that it wasn't your fault or that it wasn't a big deal. Every time you let an opportunity slip through your fingers, you're setting yourself back. And the longer you ignore it, the harder it will be to catch up. Think about all the opportunities you've missed in the past. The chances you let slip by because you were too afraid, too distracted, or too comfortable to take action. Maybe you didn't take that leap of faith because you were worried about failing. Maybe you hesitated because you weren't sure if it was the right time. Maybe you procrastinated because you didn't want to put in the work. But the truth is, the right time never comes. The perfect moment is a myth. If you're waiting for the stars to align, you'll be waiting forever. Success isn't about waiting for the perfect circumstances. It's about taking action when you don't have all the answers, when you don't have everything figured out, and when you feel unsure. It's about taking the first step, even if you don't know where the path leads. Every time you take responsibility for your missed opportunities, you give yourself a chance to grow. You stop making excuses, and you start taking action. You recognize that the only way to move forward is to learn from your mistakes and correct course. You begin to see that your failures are just stepping stones on the path to success. The only true failure is inaction. The only way to truly fail is to stop trying, to stop holding yourself accountable, and to stop learning from your experiences. This is where the real transformation happens. When you learn to hold yourself accountable, you develop a sense of integrity and self-respect that no one can take away from you. You become the kind of person who shows up, who does the work, and who takes responsibility for their results. And that's when things begin to change. When you stop making excuses and start holding yourself accountable, your mindset shifts. You stop looking for external validation or approval, and you start trusting yourself. You realize that you have the power to create the life you want, but only if you're willing to do the work, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable. So what does it mean to hold yourself accountable for every missed opportunity? It means taking full ownership of your actions. It means recognizing that every missed chance is a lesson. It means looking at your failures as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as reasons to give up. It means being brutally honest with yourself about where you're falling short, and taking immediate action to fix it. And most importantly, it means never making excuses for why you didn't do something. You don't get to blame anyone else. You don't get to blame circumstances. You don't get to blame your past. You are the one responsible for your success. The sooner you realize this, the sooner you'll start seeing results. The power of holding yourself accountable is that it forces you to face your fears, your doubts, and your weaknesses head-on. It forces you to confront the uncomfortable truths about yourself and take action in spite of them. It makes you realize that the only way to move forward is to push through the discomfort and do the work. When you hold yourself accountable, you stop making excuses for why you can't succeed, and you start taking responsibility for why you will succeed. You can't afford to waste any more time. Every missed opportunity is a chance to get closer to the life you want. You don't have the luxury of waiting for tomorrow. You need to take action right now, even if you're scared, even if you don't feel ready. The time to start is now, so hold yourself accountable. Take responsibility for every missed opportunity and turn it into fuel for your success. The more you do this, the closer you'll get to the life you've always dreamed of. Success isn't easy, but it is simple. It's about taking responsibility for your actions, learning from your mistakes, and doing whatever it takes to reach your goals. So don't wait, hold yourself accountable today. Get up, get moving, and go after what you want. Your future is waiting for you, but only if you're willing to take action. The choice is yours. Chapter 7. Stay consistent even when motivation disappears completely. You've been through the grind. You've faced countless setbacks, and there have been moments when you felt like throwing in the towel. You've had days where the weight of your mistakes, your failures, and your missed opportunities felt unbearable. But let me tell you, those feelings, those moments, they don't define you unless you allow them to. No matter how far you've fallen, no matter how much time you think you've lost, It's never too late to begin again. It doesn't matter what you've been through or where you've been, because today is the first day of the rest of your life. You have the power to start anew, to take control of your future, and to create a life that aligns with your deepest desires. This is where most people get it wrong. They think that once they've messed up, it's over. They believe that the mistakes they've made in the past are permanent, and that their dreams are forever out of reach. But the truth is, your past has no power over you unless you let it. Your past is just a series of events that have led you to this exact moment, and in this moment, you have the ability to choose differently. You can choose to break free from the chains of regret and fear, and you can choose to step into a new chapter where anything is possible. Starting over doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to understand that life is about growth, not perfection. So many people waste years of their lives regretting decisions they can't change, but the only thing you can change is what you do right now. This very moment is your opportunity to rewrite your story, to move past the shame of the past, and to begin building the future you deserve. There's no point in holding on to mistakes that no longer serve you. The only power your mistakes hold is the power you give them. Look at the people who have achieved extraordinary success. They didn't get there because they were perfect. They got there because they were willing to fail, to try again, and to keep moving forward despite the odds. In fact, the very people who inspire you the most are probably the ones who faced the most obstacles. They didn't allow their past to dictate their future. They used their failures as lessons, and every setback was simply a stepping stone on the way to their success. So the question isn't, can I still make it? The real question is, am I willing to do what it takes, even if it means starting from scratch? Because that's the secret to real transformation. It's not about having a perfect plan, or about making sure you don't stumble. It's about knowing that no matter how many times you fall, you always have the power to get back up. Starting again isn't a sign of defeat. It's a sign of resilience, of the willingness to rise above whatever is holding you back, and to keep moving forward, no matter what. And let's face it, there's always a reason not to start. There's always a fear, an excuse, or a reason to procrastinate. But here's the truth, that fear will always be there, and if you keep waiting for it to go away, you'll never take action. The secret to overcoming fear isn't waiting for it to disappear, but pushing through it, taking the first step, and letting the momentum carry you forward. When you make the decision to start again, you stop letting fear control you. You recognize that fear is simply a sign that you're on the right path, that you're stepping into the unknown, and that's where growth happens. It's easy to get caught up in the narrative of failure. It's easy to tell yourself, I should have done this earlier, or if I had only started sooner, maybe I'd be further along. But those thoughts are just distractions. They keep you stuck in the past, and they prevent you from seeing the immense power you hold in the present moment. You can't change the past, but you can change how you move forward. You can choose to stop letting your past mistakes define you, and instead use them as fuel to propel you forward. In this moment, you have the choice to begin again. You have the power to create a new story, one that reflects your true potential, and it starts with making the decision to take action, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it feels uncertain. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for the perfect conditions to begin. They began despite the doubt, despite the fear, and despite the setbacks. They knew that the only way to move forward was to take action, to push through, and to never give up. The first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, something incredible happens. You begin to build momentum. The more you take action, the easier it becomes to keep going. And with each small win, you gain confidence. You start to believe that success is possible, that you can create the life you've always dreamed of. Every time you begin again, you build a little more strength, a little more resilience, and a little more faith in yourself. And before you know it, you're on your way to achieving the very goals you thought were out of reach. But you've got to make that first decision. You've got to choose to stop playing the victim to your past and start taking responsibility for your future. It doesn't matter if you've tried and failed before. What matters is that you try again. And this time, you approach it with a mindset that says, no matter how many times I fall, I will rise again. That's the mindset of someone who will succeed. The only time failure becomes permanent is when you decide not to get back up. The beauty of starting over is that you get to redefine yourself. You get to let go of the labels that others or even you have placed on yourself. You get to decide who you want to be and what you want your life to look like. Starting over isn't about erasing your past, it's about building on it. You take the lessons from your experiences and you use them to build a stronger foundation for your future. The person you were yesterday doesn't have to be the person you are today. You have the ability to evolve, to grow, and to transform into the version of yourself you've always wanted to be. I know it's easy to get discouraged. I know there will be moments when you question if it's worth it, when you wonder if the effort is going to pay off. But I promise you, every bit of effort you put in will pay off. It may not happen as quickly as you'd like, but that's okay. The process is just as important as the outcome. The struggle, the setbacks, and the moments of doubt, they're all part of the journey. And if you keep going, you will come out on the other side stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined. But here's the key: you can't just start again once and expect everything to change. It's a continuous process. Every day you have the opportunity to make the choice to start again, and each time you make that choice, you get one step closer to your dreams. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment to begin. It's about making today the day you commit to your future. The longer you wait, the longer it will take. But if you start today, even if it's just one small step, you'll be that much closer to where you want to be tomorrow. Remember, it's never too late to start again. It doesn't matter how many times you've failed, how many obstacles you've faced, or how many times you've told yourself it's too late. Today is the day you take control of your future. Today is the day you stop letting fear or past mistakes dictate your life. Today is the day you begin again, and this time you don't stop until you achieve everything you've set out to do. This is your moment. Embrace it. Take that first step, no matter how scary it feels. And then take the next step, and the next. Before you know it, you'll look back and realize that you've built the life you've always wanted. But you can't build it if you don't start. So take a deep breath, trust in yourself, and start today. The life you've always dreamed of is waiting for you, and it starts now. Chapter 8. Choose discipline over comfort in every single moment. The fire inside you is more powerful than anything that has ever stood in your way. It's the energy that drives you forward, that pushes you through the toughest times, and that fuels your relentless pursuit of greatness. This energy, this inner power, is untapped potential, waiting for you to realize just how limitless you really are. You've got what it takes to rise above every challenge, to shatter every limitation, and to become the person you've always wanted to be. It's within you right now. The only question that remains is, are you ready to tap into it? No one achieves greatness by sitting back and waiting for it to happen. It's easy to think that success is something that happens to other people, people who are luckier, more gifted, or more fortunate. But the truth is, the people you look up to didn't get there by accident. They got there because they discovered something powerful inside themselves, something that pushed them beyond their fears, their doubts, and their limitations. They made the decision to step into their potential, to embrace the challenges that would ultimately shape them into the person they are today. But here's the key. The moment you realize that your potential is limitless, that you have the power to create the life you want, is the moment everything begins to shift. The hardest part is believing it. Once you accept that you have the ability to create your own success, everything changes. You stop seeing obstacles as barriers and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. You stop doubting yourself and start taking bold, decisive actions toward your goals. And with each step, you move closer to the life you've always imagined for yourself. You've been conditioned to believe that success comes to those who are the most talented, the most gifted, or the luckiest. But the real secret to success lies in your willingness to show up. It's not about waiting for the perfect opportunity to present itself. It's about taking massive action, regardless of how messy or imperfect that action may be. It's about putting in the work, day in and day out, even when no one is watching. It's about understanding that the journey is just as important as the destination, and that every setback, every failure, and every obstacle is simply a lesson to be learned. So, what's holding you back? What's keeping you from stepping into your full potential? The answer lies in the stories you tell yourself. You've probably convinced yourself that you're not ready, that you don't have what it takes, or that success is something that only happens to other people. But none of those stories are true. You are more capable than you give yourself credit for. You have everything you need inside of you right now to take massive action and begin building the life you deserve. And if you're honest with yourself, you know deep down that you've been holding back. You've been playing it safe, staying within the lines and sticking to what's comfortable because it feels secure. But nothing remarkable ever happens when you stay in your comfort zone. You have to step into the unknown, take risks, and push yourself beyond what you think is possible. And when you do, you'll start to see the world open up in ways you never imagined. It's time to stop waiting for the right moment. The right moment is now. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect circumstances, because those will never come. If you keep waiting for everything to be just right, you'll be waiting forever. Success isn't about waiting for the stars to align. It's about taking action, regardless of the circumstances. When you take that first step, no matter how small, you begin to build momentum. And momentum is the key to unlocking your full potential. Imagine if you took action every single day, no matter how small the steps seemed. Imagine if you decided right now to stop waiting for the perfect opportunity and started moving forward, even if you didn't know exactly where you were going. Imagine if you stopped letting fear control you and started embracing the discomfort of growth. That's when things will start to change. That's when you'll begin to see results, because when you're willing to show up, when you're willing to put in the work, success becomes inevitable. And let's talk about failure for a moment. So many people are afraid of failing, of making mistakes, of looking foolish. But the reality is, failure is not the enemy. Failure is simply feedback. It's a lesson in disguise, showing you what doesn't work so that you can try something different next time. It's the process of refinement, of learning and of growing stronger with every misstep. The most successful people in the world have failed countless times. But they didn't let those failures define them. They used them as stepping stones to get closer to their goals. And that's exactly what you need to do. Stop fearing failure and start embracing it as a part of the journey. There is no such thing as success without failure. Every failure brings you one step closer to success, because every time you fail, you learn something new. You adjust, you adapt, and you keep moving forward. Failure is just a sign that you're pushing yourself, that you're stretching beyond your limits, and that you're growing. The only real failure comes when you give up. And as long as you keep going, no matter how many times you fall, you're on the path to success. But let's take this one step further. What if you didn't just accept failure as a part of the process, but actually embraced it? What if you started seeing every failure as an opportunity to learn and grow? What if you decided that each time you fell, you would rise stronger and more determined than ever before? That's when you start to tap into your limitless potential. That's when you stop seeing failure as a setback and start seeing it as a springboard for your success. Now let's talk about the power of belief. Belief is the foundation of everything you will ever achieve. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. If you don't believe that you can succeed, no one else will believe it either. Your belief in yourself is what drives you forward, even when the odds are stacked against you. And when you believe in yourself, the world starts to believe in you too. So if you've been doubting yourself, if you've been questioning whether or not you're capable, it's time to change that narrative. It's time to stop telling yourself that you can't and start telling yourself that you will. Your belief in yourself is the key to unlocking your full potential. When you believe in your ability to succeed, you begin to act with confidence, and that confidence is what will attract the success you desire. The road to success is not easy, and it's not always straightforward. But that's what makes it worth it. The struggle, the challenges, the setbacks, they're all part of the process. They're what shape you, what test you, and what make you stronger. And when you reach your destination, when you've achieved your goals, you will look back on those struggles with gratitude, because they were the very things that made you who you are. So take action. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, because it doesn't exist. Stop waiting for the stars to align, because they never will. The time is now. The moment is here. You are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to, and the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the decision to take that first step. Right now you have everything you need to create the life you've always wanted. You have the power to make it happen. So what are you waiting for? Chapter 9. Challenge your limits daily and demand more from yourself. You are standing at the edge of something extraordinary. Right now, in this very moment, you have everything you need to make your dreams come true. You have the power to change your life, to reshape your reality, and to break free from the chains of doubt, fear, and procrastination that have held you back for so long. All it takes is one simple decision. The decision to act. When you make that decision, when you decide to move forward with confidence and purpose, the world begins to shift. Every step you take propels you closer to your goals. Every action you take sends a message to the universe that you are ready to receive everything you've ever wanted. But here's the catch. Action is not something that just happens automatically. It's not something you can wait for or hope for. It's something you have to create. Every successful person you admire didn't just get lucky. They made a conscious decision to take massive, consistent action toward their dreams. They decided to take control of their lives and stop waiting for things to fall into place. They realized that success is not something that just happens to you. It's something you must create for yourself. When you decide to take action, it's not just about doing the tasks in front of you. It's about stepping into a new mindset, a new way of thinking and being. Action is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Without it, you will remain stagnant, stuck in the same place, wondering why nothing ever changes. But when you take that first step, everything changes. You start to build momentum, and with momentum comes power. The more you act, the more confident you become, and the more doors begin to open for you. But what about the fear? What about the doubt that always seems to creep in whenever you think about taking action? It's normal to feel scared. It's normal to question your abilities. But what separates those who succeed from those who fail is not the absence of fear, it's the ability to act despite it. Fear will always be there, but it doesn't have to control you. You can acknowledge it, but you don't have to let it stop you. The secret is to take action anyway, to move forward even when you don't have all the answers, to trust that each step you take will lead you closer to the success you desire. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that you need to be fully prepared, that you need to have all the knowledge, resources, or skills before you can take action. But the truth is, action doesn't require perfection. In fact, it's the imperfection that makes the journey worthwhile. It's the mistakes, the failures, and the missteps that teach you the most about yourself and about the path you're walking. Every action you take, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, is a step in the right direction. And every time you take action, you are reinforcing the belief that you are capable, that you are worthy of success, and that you have what it takes to reach your goals. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. And the only way to make that journey is by taking consistent, determined action. So many people wait for the perfect moment, for the right time to start, but that moment never comes. If you keep waiting for everything to align perfectly, you'll be waiting forever. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. The world doesn't stop moving to give you time to catch up. If you want something, you have to go out and take it. You have to make it happen. And that starts with action. Every day you delay, every moment you spend procrastinating, is a moment you can never get back. The longer you wait, the further you move away from your dreams, but every action you take brings you closer, no matter how small it seems. The key is to keep going, to stay consistent, to keep moving forward even when it feels like progress is slow. Success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. It's about taking the long view, staying committed to the process, and trusting that the results will come as long as you keep moving. And here's the beautiful thing about taking action. Once you start, momentum takes over. At first it may feel like you're pushing a boulder up a hill, but eventually that boulder starts to roll on its own. The more you act, the easier it becomes. And as you build momentum, you start to see results. You start to notice that your efforts are paying off, and that fuels you to keep going. The key to success is to start. It's not about being perfect, it's about making progress. And once you've made progress, it's only a matter of time before you see your dreams becoming your reality. So how do you break the cycle of procrastination and take action? It starts with commitment. You have to make a firm decision that you are no longer willing to wait for the perfect moment. You are no longer willing to sit on the sidelines while others are out there making things happen. You have to commit to your dreams, to your goals, and to the actions that will get you there. Once you make that commitment, everything changes. You stop asking, "What if?" and start asking, "What's next?" You stop worrying about what could go wrong and start focusing on what could go right. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time to take action. Life is unpredictable, and the circumstances will never be ideal. But you don't need ideal circumstances to succeed. You just need to start. You need to take the first step, no matter how small, and then keep going. Every action you take gets you one step closer to the life you've always dreamed of. Every action you take sends a message to the universe that you are ready, that you are committed, and that you are willing to do whatever it takes to make your dreams a reality. And don't forget the power of perseverance. Success is not guaranteed, but perseverance is. There will be setbacks, obstacles, and challenges along the way. But that doesn't mean you should give up. The road to success is rarely a straight line. It's filled with twists, turns and detours, but every time you face a setback and keep going, you grow stronger. Every time you fall and get back up, you become more resilient. And every time you push through the difficult times, you get closer to the person you want to become. So stop waiting, stop overthinking, stop wondering if you're ready, because the truth is, you'll never feel completely ready. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that you take action. You have the power to change your life right now. You have the power to step into your greatness, to create the life you've always dreamed of, and to leave behind the doubt and fear that have held you back for so long. It's all in your hands. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the decision to take action. So make it today. Your future self will thank you. Chapter 10. Refuse to quit until your goal becomes your reality. Success doesn't wait for anyone, and neither should you. The time to act is now, not tomorrow, not next week, and certainly not when you feel ready. Waiting for the perfect moment will only keep you stuck in the same place you've always been, and you deserve more than that. You were not born to live a life of mediocrity or to sit by idly while the world moves forward. The world is full of opportunity, and you have the ability to seize it, but only if you choose to take action. Every moment you wait, you're allowing your dreams to slip further away. Every second you hesitate, you're telling the universe that you're not ready to step into your greatness. The truth is, you don't need to wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to act. In the same way that a seed doesn't wait for the perfect weather to start growing, you cannot wait for every condition in your life to be perfect before you start chasing your dreams. Waiting is what most people do. They wait for the right time, the right circumstances, the right mood, and the right opportunities to appear. But that is not how success works. Success favors those who take risks, those who step out of their comfort zones, and those who are not afraid to start before they feel ready. You must get comfortable with the idea that taking action is the key to change and growth. It's not about waiting for things to be perfect. It's about doing what you can with what you have, where you are right now. Action is what creates momentum, and momentum is what drives success. Imagine if you just took the first step, even if you didn't have all the answers. Imagine if you simply started moving forward, even when fear and doubt tried to tell you that you weren't capable. That's the moment when everything begins to shift. It's when you make the decision to act, to take that leap of faith, that things start to unfold. Your life will never look the same again. The world will start to respond to your actions. Doors will open that you didn't even know existed, and opportunities will present themselves in the most unexpected ways. But this will never happen if you stay in the same place, waiting for things to magically fall into place. Let's talk about the reality of success for a moment. Success doesn't come to those who sit back and wait for it to happen. It doesn't knock on the door of the person who's afraid to try. It comes to those who take risks, who fail forward, and who continue to push themselves even when the odds are stacked against them. If you want success in your life, you have to go out and get it. You have to work for it. You have to take action even when it feels uncomfortable, when you don't have all the answers, when you're not sure what the next step looks like. The only thing that separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't is the decision to take consistent action. You might be thinking, "I'm not ready yet." But here's the truth. You will never feel ready. You will never feel completely prepared for the challenges that lie ahead, and that's okay. If you waited until you felt ready, you'd never start anything. The key is to take action anyway, even when you don't feel like it, even when the doubts creep in, and even when you're unsure of the outcome. Taking action is the best way to build confidence. The more you take action, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable, that you have what it takes, and that you can handle whatever comes your way. The first step is always the hardest. The hardest part of any journey is getting started. Once you begin, everything gets easier. The key to overcoming that initial resistance is to stop overthinking. Overthinking is what keeps most people stuck. They analyze every possible outcome, trying to predict what will happen, but in doing so they never move forward. They waste time waiting for the perfect moment, which never comes. The truth is, you don't need to know everything before you begin. You don't need a perfect plan, you just need to take the first step. The rest will unfold as you go. The key is consistency. The more you keep moving forward, the more you'll learn, the more you'll grow, and the more momentum you'll build. So what happens when you take action? Magic starts to happen. People start to notice. Opportunities start to appear. Your confidence grows, and before you know it, you've built a life that you once only dreamed of. Every time you take action, you send a message to the universe that you are ready for what comes next. You create the space for success to flow into your life. You may not know exactly how things will unfold, but you trust that they will. You trust that every action you take is a step closer to your goals, even when the path isn't clear. Trusting the process is key. When you trust the process and take action, you show the universe that you believe in your own potential. And when you believe in yourself, others start to believe in you too. Now don't be fooled into thinking that every action will be a smooth one. You will face obstacles. You will face setbacks. You will face failure. And that's okay. Failure is not the end. It's part of the process. It's part of what makes success so sweet. Every failure is a lesson, a stepping stone to something greater. So when you fail, don't give up. Don't let it discourage you. Instead, learn from it. Use it as fuel to propel you forward. Every time you fail and get back up, you're building resilience. You're learning more about yourself, your goals, and the path you need to take to succeed. Taking action isn't just about moving forward. It's about adapting, learning, and growing along the way. The more you act, the more you learn, and the more you grow. Every action you take, whether big or small, brings you closer to the person you are meant to be. And as you continue to take action, you'll start to see things differently.